sweet people, let me know when the song is over, okay? I still can't hear it on this end. So I'm just trusting you guys and say, okay, song is over. Thank you. Hi folks, Mary Jane Doe, Daniel Berry Sports Highlights and Freeside. Please let me know when the song ends. I still can't hear it on this end, okay? It's just silent. The cats are playing in the background. Let me know, please. Is it looping? Is it over, you guys? I can't hear it at all. Which is why I worked all these days on trying to fix this. But I think it's my speakers or, you know, like in the iPad or something. I don't think it's anything I can fix. Unless I just need to upgrade, you know, in my StreamYard. Because it does say that Studio will not record StreamYard. So I thought it wouldn't even I wouldn't be able to, you know, record or stream. But maybe that means the music. But then why, when people watch my videos, the music comes on? You'd think it wouldn't come on either end. That's why I'm confused. So when I can afford to upgrade to the $35.99, I'm going to do it. Did the music end, you guys? My comments aren't moving either. All right, I'm going to reboot my iPad because normally when I'm asking for help, there's at least something on there and it's the exact same 3 people and the comments won't move. So I'm just going to reboot my iPad. Please stay here. Oops. All right, I'm back. My comments aren't moving and I rebooted the iPad. So I'm thinking I'm not going to get any comments. I'm just not understanding it. I don't want to end stream. Oh, good. Oh, good. I just got your new one, Mary Jane. Hi, y'all. Hit the like, please. Thank you. Has the music stopped? I mean, most songs are 3.5, 4 minutes. Is it just looping, Mary Jane? I can't hear it at all. Well, no, it's still going. Okay. I'm going to stop it now. All right. Hi, everyone. So, earlier this evening, got a phone call from, I didn't, but my son got a call from his dad, and it didn't end very well. So, besides that, and sitting at the end of the hall so I can get reception and so my daughter can sleep because she's going to bed early here at 10 p.m. my time. I'm just sitting at the end of the hall and I'm going to do a live. So I'm glad you're all here. Thank you for watching from the bushes. And yeah. So the state rested. I'm going to read my notes. The because they go after the state. And that means now paperwork has been given to the jury. Hi, Tattooed Rebel. So this is day 4 today. Dr. Clark, okay, said she was in a psychosis state. He believes. All right. And he had 28 years of experience being a forensic psychologist. Today, the state had Dr. Pickett on. And he talked about disassociation quite a bit, among other things. And he said that you must have intent for MURDER to have disassociation. So when I heard that, I thought, well, is that true in all cases? There has to be intent, or can you just disassociate and not hardly know what you're doing? And I didn't look up a bunch of other cases because my day was pretty busy, but I'll read the notes that I have. Also, this psychiatrist who has rarely spoken, or evaluated juveniles or even adolescents at all. And he's been a forensic psychologist for 2 years. Now, he definitely knew his stuff and everything. He sounded very smart, knowledgeable, and he seemed like a kind man. At the end of the 9-hour entire trial today, the defense did say, you sound a little biased, So he said he wasn't. He looked at notes, he watched the video of what she did, and it seemed very, he didn't say the word calculating, but he did say callous and whatnot. And he fully believes that she knew what she was doing. And by the looks of the video, with, getting on the phone, I didn't know that after she summoned her stepdad to come home, after allegedly, or she's admitting to, I guess, killing her mother, she texted friends. And the state just, I don't know. With the texts and the different things that were said, it seemed that she really had all her cognitive mental awareness neurons working, to me. But did she definitely have issues? Yes. Anxiety and panic attacks and hearing voices when she was younger. And so I'm going to go on and read here. This man, Dr. Pickett, said that the father, in his surmisation, did not have bipolar. And the other psychiatrist said, including 2 other female psychiatrists, said, yes, he did. He was literally diagnosed with that. And that's a big deal because more than likely, if a parent has that, a child can have the same mental malady because of genetics. So he's trying to say that there's no way Carly has bipolar, because he said it's highly likely that children of the biological parent that does not have it, the music is on still. Oh, for crying out loud. I went over in Brand and turned it off. Let me see. Where is it? It's not on. Is it a different song that I accidentally turned on? The one I started out with is A Call Is Upon Us by the 126ers, because Track Tribe, which I played yesterday when I went over and heard it back, was, how can the music be going? It's off. Hold on here. It has to be off, you guys. I don't have it on. I don't have it on, you guys. Is it off now? Oh, good grief. Let me know if it's off now. And if you hear running around in the background, it's the kitties playing and all this. It's 10 p.m. here. Is it going still? I see the music is on and I see the word loud. And I have the music halfway down, so it wouldn't be loud. This is very perplexing because I just checked all my songs all the way down and none of them are on right now. I'm going to check again. I'll turn this down in case it's still going. I don't know how. I'm checking. Checking. Okay, there's no music on, you guys. All right, well, I'm just gonna have to turn it down low because I'm not getting a response in comments. So I'm just gonna turn it down low. I could leave and go into studio and check it out for myself, but if I can't turn it off for some weird reason, I gotta keep going. So I'm not even gonna check it right now. I'll for sure check the whole video when I'm done. So I just really, this is more perplexing than not hearing it. Okay, I'm going to turn it down even more. And we'll have to just have some background music, which is kind of odd, but I don't have anything on anywhere. Okay. Please let me know. I'll be peeking at the chat. Hopefully it's off now. It should be. Oh, it's off now. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. All right. So, and this Mr. Pickett is local. He's local from the literal town. I don't know what town that is, but he's local in that town of Mississippi. So that could persuade, I mean, right? The jury maybe a little bit and whatnot. But hopefully not. I'm still, like I covered yesterday, the Miranda rights were not read to her. Or if they were, no, they weren't read to her. Because, I mean, when is it that you're supposed to turn your camera on? I mean, a lot of them have it on in the car, when they open the door, when they're approaching the scene, right? So, you know, they weren't read to her. And both lawyers didn't speak upon this. I mean, she can't necessarily say she didn't do it because maybe it's admitted somewhere else, but still she'd have a fighting chance. I mean, I'm not telling her to lie or saying that's a good idea, but I don't believe, you know. So if you watch yesterday's video, you know, the cop is like, you shot that pistol from your right hand, right? I mean, details. And she's like, yes, you know, right, Mary Jane, they're not supposed to turn their camera off. And he might have left the camera on, but he definitely turned the audio off at some point, trying to say it was a personnel issue. And that was discussed, and he was even scolded a little bit by the defense yesterday. Also, this Dr. Pickett said that you don't usually notice a change on Zoloft for weeks, usually months. Well, I'm here to say my son noticed a difference in 2 days. He really did. He started smiling a little more, and he said he felt better. So I just needed to throw that in there. It's different for everyone. And this girl, Carly, was on Zoloft for a while. So they're trying to say that it wouldn't affect her, or it would affect her too much, or whatever, or not at all. The Lexapro, at a low dose, Lexapro, they're saying cannot cause psychosis, okay, or ever cause an MURDER case. And I'd be curious if that's out there somewhere, that perhaps someone was on that and, you know, something happened and they were really able to prove. I'm not trying to say that it's a, you know, a bad thing, but it's something they're discussing about the medications, right? You know, and even in the Columbine shooting thing, right? I guess a few of them were all 3 boys on Zoloft. I can't remember quite. Also, she had written that even at a young age, she was hearing voices all day. Or no, yeah, she wrote that and then she told Mr. Pickett. And he's saying that's not possible. They're usually sporadic. They're not all day. Well, maybe she didn't mean all day. When I heard that, I thought, well, she's 15 now. Yeah. If it causes unaliving thoughts, can't it cause homicidal thoughts? Yeah. They don't know how it's going to affect her. No. Well, I don't know, but I'm not going in. Okay, whatever. Okay, so my thing is when you're young, right? 9 or 15, and you say, yeah, I heard voices all day. Maybe she really didn't hear them all day. Maybe it was sporadic and she said all day. You know? Now, I don't have as many notes as yesterday. They're very sporadic. The next thing that caught my attention was that he said, mostly having depression symptoms. So that he didn't think that she had bipolar for that reason. Well, trust me, in my own experience, not my own, but my family's, my son's, you can have depression and it can be bipolar later on or even during that time and you don't know. He said maybe she was, abusing substances. She was smoking a lot of the pot on March 18th, so maybe that caused it. Well, she did have that episode where she dropped to the ground while they were at the store and her body was feeling funny. And as we all know, there's a lot more THC in it now, than back in the 80s when I tried some here and there. Yeah. She did see a regular therapist from 2015, or no, February 2015 to February 2019. And I'm not sure I knew that. So her mom was taking her to like a therapist for a good 4 years. Her mom always took her. There were a couple of times that her stepdad took her. One day was Valentine's Day or something. Yeah. Now, he also talked about dissociation again, and he said that patchy dissociation is more common, not what's called in block dissociation. He said that's very rare, this Dr. Pickett. So she's saying that she doesn't remember anything from after when she let the dogs back in, clear till when she was found in the drainage pipe or near it. Okay, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But he does not believe that she could have possibly have had in-block disassociation just because it's very rare. Exactly. Very rare doesn't mean impossible. That's why I jotted these things down. He also said that he believes she was malingering. And I covered that yesterday, right? That's where people, they malinger if they have, something to gain, like their freedom. They malinger, basically fib/lie about things. It's called malingering. And he believes she's malingering, and Dr. Clark did not believe that. She brought up derealization. They made a big deal about that. Yeah. And disassociative spells. She said she would have those each time her mother yelled at her, the yelling. So today I really learned, and again, this isn't to, blame the victim or her mother, who's basically gone now at all. But apparently she really got upset many, many times. Can you black out and then remember what happens? Some people say you can. Some say you can't, right? You kind of black out, but then how do you remember what happened if you're in a blackout? So that's kind of contradictory. He talked about paratraumatic disassociative spells. And those are the kinds of things, yeah, maybe different for everyone, that you just turn. He said it's like an ejection button. You turn off. He said, people who are sex trafficked and going through RAPE multiple, RAPE multiple times a day. Hi, Sunshine. Hi, Amanda Elizabeth. Thank you. Yeah, I'm just using my voice right now because it's been a long day. I'm kind of tired and I didn't feel like fixing myself up. And I'm at the end of the hall, so the Wi-Fi is working. So there is such thing as that, a peritraumatic disassociative spell, where you just, he also said, prisoners of war, that went through horrific stuff would make their bodies do that so they could live through it. He said that can sporadically happen. Medications worsened the undiagnosed mental problems for Carly, like the Lexapro, okay? Because it was increased. That was the problem, okay? One of the problems. Also, she was on Zoloft, and she admits to just going off it when she was supposed to taper. And I'm surprised that her parents didn't make sure that she was tapering. Do you know what I mean? Now, maybe I think she said she had been on it. Well, I've got a different notebook. It wasn't very long. Actually, I think it was only about a month. Hi, 3 Dot. Hit that MF. You're funny. MF, like biatches. Can I say that on here? Thank you. Yeah, hit the like. Please subscribe. Okay. All right, so he was done speaking, but he was up there a long time, and of course, the defense, cross-examined, right? The therapist that she had for about 4 years, she saw the mother and Carly the very first session. No, that's not true. She only saw her for 9 sessions. That was a different therapist. And for 9 weeks. In the first session, the mother was there, but the next 8, she wasn't. She waited in like the waiting room. And this is what Carly told her. The mom was upset with Carly lying to her and taking sleeping pills. So I'm thinking before the melatonin, there was some kind of sleeping pill situation. Also, she told her that her father was drinking and doing drugs in front of her at the age of 4 when she would go over there. And this went on for 1.5 years. Her mother didn't even find out till she was 4. So that means what? 2.5 years old? When she's really little, it started going on. Carly felt in February, okay, this is a month before the incident on March 19th. She was feeling angry, but she did enjoy school. She was feeling isolated because she was so gifted, right? Kind of left out of social loops because some people thought she was too smart and they just kind of stayed away from her. Having a mother as a teacher was difficult for her. A week later, in February, she started having dark thoughts and her appearance was changing, like teenagers do, right? Wearing like a goth shirt and extra black clothes. But her affect and all that, seemed okay. But she was struggling with social things in school. And then a week after that, Carly thought that she might have some kind of autism, maybe, because loud sounds were bothering her and things like this. But they didn't really find that. She had cognitive behavioral therapy called CBT. They were also trying to teach her boundary settings and the need to stop cutting. She felt better when her mom was less stressed. That was really important to her. When she got her hair cut 2 different times, her mom didn't really like it, and that kind of hurt her, feelings. And then when she went to school, some of her friends said she looked more gay. So I'm bringing these things up to give you guys an idea of kind of like, you know, how she felt isolated and how that can lead to depression, her not just saying she's depressed, and anxiety and things. Literally 2 days before, on March 16th, she seemed normal. And her last session was the day before. She seemed normal. 318. The therapist felt she was very codependent on her mom's feelings. Her mom's anger was really hard on her. They really had some verbal, I don't want to say battles, but it sounds like her mom got upset with her pretty often. And they asked her if she had, been essayed ever. And she said no. So that was good to hear, that her stepdad never did that, unless he did and she isn't admitting it. And I say that because they just try to have, confidentiality and an honest rapport, with their clients. Carly had conflicted feelings. Carly tried to help her mom once, and her mom got upset. Hi, Tupacs. Did the trial end today? Yes. 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 It ended. The paperwork went to the jury. And I mean, I don't know. I've seen cases, I've watched court TV, but it happened again today. At the end of the day, the female lawyer of Carly's, her name's Miss Todd, finally jotted her name down. She put her hair behind her ear on one side, and it looks like it's getting a little oily, and she wasn't afraid to touch it. Not afraid, but you know what I mean? She just really was trying to soothe her, and she really gave her a smile. To the point where I took my iPad into my daughter's room and I said, "Look at this." And she did. And she said, "Oh, that almost makes me want to cry." And I said, "I know." And at the end of today, when she kind of realized it was all over, when people were talking and okay and all this, she started getting welled up in her face and was literally crying. This little girl, 15 years old, when she walked out of the room. The mom passed and the stepdad made it. Yep. And he was sitting with, I believe, those two people, the older lady with the short hair and the other one. I'm thinking now they're literally her mother's parents, because the other lady that was kind of sitting over by her stepfather, Heath. I said Keith for like 2 days because I thought that's what I was hearing. Looked just like him. This woman looked just like him. So they're all there for her, and they were smiling and looking at her. The video you showed was chilling while she was waiting on them to come in. Which one was that? Oh, waiting on them to come in. Oh yeah. Yeah, when they drove home and pulled in the car, which, by the way, guess what? Remember when I said, how come they're not really talking at all? Right? They weren't saying one word to each other on the camera. Well, guess what? Those two, I thought maybe, I mean, it just seemed odd to me because for me, no matter what age you are, it's like something. Oh, okay, well, you're going to do your homework later. Oh, do you want a snack? Or, oh, I'm glad you're out of anything. And they were quiet with each other for so long. Well, I found out today they weren't speaking in in the car all the way home. They didn't say one word to each other because for people that are joining tonight, yesterday I found out that a friend through trial, a friend, right, it's tough being a parent, too strict, not strict enough. Yes. On them to the video, the parents. Yeah. Um her mother is a math teacher at the same school that Carly goes to, and she searched her bag, you know, and was looking for pot, which is illegal in Mississippi right now, um, and said, "Are you lying to me? And what are you holding back?" And was yelling and was very upset. And then they didn't speak in the car, and then, you know, it happens. She has a really close, it seems, and good relationship with her stepdad. Like, no threats. He's always been there for her and this and that. Um, so I'm still really perplexed though that she would, you know what I mean? Kind of wait or whatever, and coerce him to come home and try to shoot him too. I mean, do you know what I mean? I'm really so I don't know. I don't feel like it's looking very good for her now. Um, because of what Mr. Pickett said, and then they had another lady in, but I'll get to that, who didn't believe that she was insane at the time. Yeah. All right. So when Carly tried to help her mom, and I don't know what it was for, her mom got a little upset, and it bothered her to the point where she brought it up in therapy. It made her feel bad. Maybe her mom was feeling like, I'm not inept. I don't need my daughter helping me. I'm not really sure. But like I said a couple of days ago, she did help in an alternative school. She would help the teacher. She skipped a grade. She got 30 on SATs. She's actually, one therapist said brilliant. Another said that she, because she did so good, that she seemed narcissistic and manipulative, and all these things were said about her as she's sitting there. Callous, the word diabolical was used. He said, Mr. Pickett said, I'm not saying she's a diabolical person. She's sweet, she's charming. I've met her, and he said, and I hate saying these things. This is what he said on the stand, paraphrasing. But he said, that day she was diabolical. So anyway, it's just, and they're always zooming in on her with the camera, and it's just really sad. Carly walked on eggshells a lot because she wanted to have her mom feel proud, please her. She worried about her mom so much. I found out that there was definite physical abuse with the biological father when she was little, to the mother, and even to her. So she had been through physical abuse. And so the divorce was in literally not process, is that the word? All the way up to her passing. So, yeah. She was having intrusive and stuck thoughts. She had major sleep troubles, as we've said in the past. She was feeling hopelessness. She had a poor self image. I didn't know any of this till today, besides her depression. One time a month, she would have a full out panic attack. She was feeling sad, withdrawn, insecure, and there was talk about being a psychopath or a sociopath. And this Pickett said that she was not. He did not feel she was a psychopath or a sociopath. So they're saying, right, it was all intent and just intent and very egregious, you know. Carly said she was losing control of her auditory hallucinations. She had real fear from her biological dad. And I stated the other day she hid under her bed once when she was little. He drove erratically. He did drugs. And he did, or maybe not hard drugs in front of her, but he took a lot of pills. He was drinking. He was loud. He was angry. He had a temper, apparently. So she started using the marijuana at night to sleep. So she must have blown it out the window or something because the parents didn't know. They didn't know she was even smoking it, I believe I read yesterday, till January of this year. No, they're saying she's not schizophrenic because the criteria for that is hearing voices and not remembering different, I don't know, like they covered it and I even covered it. And now I'm not remembering all the criteria, but they don't, neither of them felt that she was schizophrenic. Oh, also because of her age. They said usually that starts with men in their young 20s, you know, at the onset, and for late teens, early 20s for women. And it's more prevalent in women than men. So the age thing is what Pickett said. And Dr. Clark kind of felt there were other reasons. Yeah, now the vape pen wasn't brought up at all. I mean, it was in the beginning, right? Somewhere. And I don't know who said that. Maybe that was the best friend, this male friend that told her mother at school, and then everything unraveled, you know, in a horrific way. Yeah, I know, because of the hallucinations, hearing voices. At a young age, Dr. Pickett said that you can think you're hearing voices, but really it's your thoughts, right? You're thinking things, but you think you're hearing voices at a young age. When you're older, you would really kind of know. Yeah. Oh, I see. Okay. Oh, I didn't know that. You can put marijuana in a vape pen? Yeah, internal monologue. I didn't know that. I'm so glad you guys are here. I think in her mom's drawer. Okay, you're answering Tupac's. That supposedly was on the nightstand, loaded, laying right there. And that's the days, like that hosts the show and everything, if you have a child with mental problems and even just depression now and then, you don't have that just out in the open like that, or even in a drawer, much less loaded, not locked up. Now, I understand it all. She never thought in a million years her own daughter would even want to hurt her. But, you know, uh, and I'm not saying she did. Like, I don't know. I don't really know. I can't, with the medications and being put on the wrong one and not being diagnosed, being put on the right medications in time. And that can totally happen because even my son has been on and off every single SSRI out there, right? Depression medicine. He's tried every single one. And now he's on one, and he has been for over a year and it's working. And he's tried all the psychiatric ones, all of them. They were talking about the Lexapro, or no, that's an antidepressant. Abilify is a psychiatric med, risperidone, Haldol, and there's more than that. And I just, olanzapine, clomipramine might be one too. The Celexa was an antidepressant. My son's been on that and it really worked for him, but then it didn't when he got older. So, you're always having to go off, try something better, you know, take more, take less because of side effects. It's difficult. And when you have these symptoms, like my son having CD and stuff, they're never going to go away. You take medication to manage them in your life. Now that's really depressing. To me, that's depressing. So like when you're diagnosed with schizophrenia, it's not going to go away taking a pill. You have it, you have it. It's too bad people can't heal, but yeah. I mean, heal in the brain like that. Okay, she feared her biological dad, and she also felt indifferent, like she didn't really know what to say about him. Also, she took her marijuana to help her sleep at night. She had hypersensitivity to sounds, and she was starting to question the meaning of life. So, this therapist, okay, that she actually was, this young lady or this lady in her late 30s started crying. She just started crying because she was remembering talking to the mother the one time and all the time she'd bring her daughter in, and she said, sorry about that and this and that. Miss Todd, the defense lawyer, said, were you shocked to find, when this happened? And she said, absolutely. Just couldn't believe it. Because Carly really loved her mother, and Ashley really loved Carly. But everything with this burner phone and cutting and the secret boyfriend, I guess, and the smoking pot was just a lot. A forensic evaluator who decided if she was insane or not was on the stand today. And the test that they do is called a McNaughton test. And that's named after a Daniel McNaughton case out there somewhere from Mississippi. This person was from Mississippi. So it's interesting to me, even though every case is different, right? The judge and the lawyers rely on the decisions and criteria of other cases. The medication has been prescribed to Carly while she's in jail. Yesterday I had said I don't know if she's on anything right now. She is. They didn't say what it was. She said that she heard a voice one time that said, "Hurt your mom." That was a shocker, you guys, when I heard that today. She's also afraid now. You know, she's in solitary confinement. That's why I got choked up yesterday at the end of my video. It's just her, and when she sees a guard, ever since March. So it's going on like in the middle of 6 months. And the reason she's in solitary confinement is because she's a minor. That's why. That's what they said. She's afraid that someone might jump her while she's in jail alone. That's what she said. Today, during the trial, you guys, let me stroll up comments. See, I didn't even know Tupac's wife. I didn't even know that was possible. Yeah. Oh, you can buy the vape pen with it, says Sunshine. 3 Dot smokes weed every day. Tupac takes Zoloft and Trazodone. Yeah, my son used to take Trazodone. He actually doesn't even need to anymore because the antipsychotic that he's on, which is olanzapine, and he's been on it before, makes him kind of tired. So he takes it at night. He's been on it before, but he gained quite a bit of weight quickly. So this time we were smart and talking with the psychiatrist. We started him on a low dose, real low, and instead of just boom on 50 or something. Because you can take quite a bit. Let's see. Oh, you're funny. You guys are so funny. Well, I had a bad experience with it in the 80s, and I've said this before, and I really did. I got up off the couch really fast and went in the kitchen at this house I was at, stuck my head in the freezer because I couldn't breathe. It really, really scared me. And I haven't smoked it since, you guys. That's how much it scared me. And that's, I mean, this is in the 80s when I've heard it's 3%, and now the THC, and now it's like 11 or more, I guess. Yeah, I really like how able to be open with me. I try not to judge. Yeah, yeah. And I've said that to my daughter too. It's like, you can absolutely tell me anything and I won't judge you. I've even brought up if she sees something horrific and is scared or does something ever horrific in her life, I've even talked to her about if you're ever abused in a relationship. She knows, I watch a lot of these shows and she's heard about some of them and, restraining orders and all this stuff. I said, make sure, you tell someone because there's so many programs, you guys. I didn't know she was going through this. I never would have let her go, or I would have gotten her out of that house, or I would have, do you know what I mean? And they're embarrassed. They don't want to tell their parent and they don't, they don't lose their kids. I don't know. She probably control. They force you to take medications. I don't think fine, but she's so it's really strange that they have her in an adult. I've said this in the past, and you've probably heard, um, because this is such a heinous and premeditated crime, the state believes. That's why she's being tried as an adult, you guys. People are so upset that she took her mother's phone, and it's pretty incriminating, really. And even when you see it on the video, took her phone after she's deceased and said, uh, hi, when are you going to be home, honey? You know, anyway, trying to get the stepdad there. PCT, keep talking to chat. That's your groove. You're funny, 3 Dot. Oh, I didn't know you took it. Wow. I've heard. I've heard. My ex, Chuck, that I've talked about, even shown pictures of and all that, that robbed a gosh darn bank 20, what, 5 or 33 years ago or whenever it was. Let's see, 4 years after he did 4 years in 91. So in 1995, yeah, in Florida. And he'll get out in a few years. He's got a few more years to, you know, he's now. Yes, has talked to him in my gosh years. Um, he got put in there quite a bit now and then because of fights with guards. Broke a jaw once by a guard, he said, and oh God, it's just I wouldn't even be able to handle listening to all it now. When I was younger, like in my 40s and stuff, I can only take on so much now and stress, and I literally had to stop, replying to his letters and sending him things with money I didn't even have. Um, well, I can't send him things, but he sent me a list once and it said small radio and there was a check by it, and a Snickers bar, there was a check by that. Anyway, it all added up to $40. And maybe batteries was another one. And I couldn't do it. And it made me feel bad. And I just kind of, and he knew my situation, right? And because it wasn't very, very financially well in my 40s either. And yeah, I'm cutting out, Mary Jane. Am I cutting out now? Okay, it's better now. 3 Dot says we should smoke weed together and chill and free. You're really funny. Or if you have the bad stuff, make sure, well, I don't want to say do it at work, but when I used to work at Zachary's Pizza, where all the pepperoni and shredded cheese and the dough and the ranch dressings that we made homemade and everything was in this big freezer, right? Can you imagine getting high in there? I mean, you couldn't because you'd lose your job and all of that. But can you imagine? That's so funny. Hi, Tony. What's cracking, 3 Dot? He says. You guys are really funny. Okay, what does that mean? I mean, who is that to? That's really inconsiderate of him. Are you talking about 3 Dot saying I should get high with him in a freezer? I don't know. Maybe you're talking to someone else. You guys are so funny. Oh. Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay, where am I? Oh, today when she was sitting there, Carly, they gave her some, probably not nuts because maybe she's alert, maybe they can't do that, but little piece of candy or something she was nibbling on. I thought that was nice. And she was sipping a cola. Dr. Pickett said that Carly said they weren't speaking on the way home. I already said that in the beginning of my live. From school the day of the incident. Ashley, her mother, was very upset. The text messages to the friends pretty much reinforced that Carly was not in a psychotic state during the incident. And names I won't say because they said them in court TV, and then the initials SK for the other young gal. Were brought up in court and they weren't supposed to be, and I'll touch upon that later on. Bipolar and schizophrenia does not mean insanity. This is what Dr. Pickett says. And I mean, that makes sense, but he said even if you have schizophrenia with bipolar, you basically cannot be insane. I don't know if I agree with that because I was watching a show called Policing the Mentally Ill or something. And it basically, was teaching cops and stuff how to deal with them and how to de-escalate situations. And this guy was really schizophrenic. His mom had to keep telling him to leave now and then because she was afraid. He accused her of stealing her car, or his car, I mean, but yet it was her car. And they filmed all this in this little house, and I felt so bad for her. And he just wasn't in his right mind at all. I don't know what's happened to him since then, but I'm going to say it right here. If he was in jail right now, I wouldn't be surprised unless he was able to get help. He was hearing voices. He went up to her in the kitchen, and you could tell. I mean, he wasn't faking it. He was scared. He was like, "Who are you? Who are you?" And she literally was like, "You know who I am. I'm your mother," because she's so used to going through these episodes with him. Oh gosh, she was probably in her 50s, it looked like, and he was in his 30s or late 20s. Okay, so the defense, Miss Todd, objected to the minor names being said during trial today. She said they are not allowed because there's a court order. Now, she brought it up to the judge, right, when the jury was out. And I'm telling you guys, it was profound. He got so angry. I literally brought my iPad into my daughter's bedroom and I said, "You've got to see this. It's really quick. It's just maybe 10 seconds long, but boy, does he get angry." And I think it's because he said the media is doing the best they can. I'm doing all I can. And then Miss Todd, in her sweet little Southern soft voice, said, "Well, Your Honor, we put in a court order for this." And frankly, he lost it. She said, and she prefaced this whole thing, you guys, by saying the parents of these two minor kids that were brought up, right, that she had texted after the incident, the parents were texting her during the trial. I mean, it was kind of shocking. And basically, he said this, and I'm paraphrasing, but it's pretty much word for word almost. The judge said, after all of that, he said, "I think we've all forgotten who we're here for and who's important. It's the jury." And he said, "Let's all take a," and then his voice got louder and more intense. First he says that, and he's saying it intensely, and then he goes, Let's all take a pregnant pause here. And he slammed his pen down. I'm not even kidding. And he walked out of the court. And I saw a couple of women sitting in front of their computers, kind of just had their hands over their eyes. One was rubbing her face. It was, of course, completely silent. And they took a 5-minute break. And when he came back in, he didn't say, I mean, he is the judge, right? But he didn't say, sorry about that. He didn't address it at all. So, yeah, I kind of, I agree with her. Here she is getting actual texts. The parents are upset. And when the names kept being brought up, no offense to the judge. I'm sure it's not an easy job, but not one time did he say, hold on, or whatever he can interject and say. Please don't keep using their names or whatever. He didn't do that. And he said to Miss Todd, I'm doing all I can. So that ended like that. They came back. The male lawyer cross-examined Mr. Pickett and said all kinds of things like, okay, how long have you been a forensic psychologist? And you seem to be doubting and omitting everything that Dr. Clark says. And wouldn't you say he's more knowledgeable than you, especially on child mental cases, than you, since he's been doing, he wasn't mean, but he kind of put him in his place. And he was up there, I don't know, at least 20 minutes, maybe up to half an hour. And then all of a sudden, the defense rested. And for some reason, like, I thought that meant for the end of the day. Like, silly me, but that's what I thought. And they would come back and it would be day 5 tomorrow. Well, I guess when you've rested, right? It's not just the end of the day. So it didn't compute in my brain. And then the judge was marking papers, I think signing papers for the jury. And so tomorrow, right, at 8:30 in the morning, don't they usually always, he goes over the instructions with them and reads all those pages? Or maybe different judges are different. But right after that, Miss Todd, gosh, I've been on an hour and 14 minutes. So I'm going to end this like really soon here. Let me peek at chat. Oh, I didn't know that was up the whole time. What's happening, Tiggett? You tiger? You're so funny. Let's call him Tiggett. That's kind of cute. Tony, you're Tiggett now. You're Tony the Tiggett. It's inconsiderate of your ex doing a crime, going away, and then making you feel bad for not being able to provide for him. Oh. Are you saying that's what you went through? You guys are so funny. It's all about the moment, no future, no past, just now. 3 dot boo, boo with ghosts. And 3 dot, I love having you in here. You know why? You're funny and you're fun. You need to come in here more often, okay? Where you been hiding? Yeah. Life, bro. It's been fun, says 3 dot. Ambery, I don't know how I feel about that Dr. Pickett. He may be an expert, but not with adolescents. That's Dr. Clark's area of expertise. Yes, Amber. And he was really like just talking it out and being really fair too. So many people with schizophrenia end up in jail or prison. In their mind, they really believe what their mind is telling them. They can't help it. I know. And you guys, anybody can get schizophrenia. literally any time in their life, because I saw a program on this, and I've said this like many months ago. A woman had just turned 40, okay, young mother, and boy, she got it pretty bad. I think she even had to be like institutionalized type deal. Oh, Lord. Yeah, the judge had a meltdown. Now, granted, it was a 9-hour day, but they have what, hour lunch, I think? And then, maybe 3 breaks in a long day like that at 5 minutes. So, did you misspell it? Yes. See, you have a wrench. You were just clowning when you said that. Beautiful PCT. Thank you, Tony. You need to come in here more often, too. She's given from wrenches again. I know. All the people that came back while I was gone and hopped in and then came in again like a second time when I decided I needed more than one wrench person, because Pinkie Pie is my PCT. You really should have a pile of papers. Encouraged to really continue your namesake. Let's go. You're hilarious. Look at like Piglet. Tony, we all have wrenches so we can work on cars or be a plumber. Oh, you guys are so funny. 3, 2, 1. I support you totally. Hey, all right. Hi, AK-47. He's been in here a lot. Thank you, you guys. You guys are so funny. So anyway, I'm kind of ending on a little sad note, but you won't be my face crying like yesterday. So to me, it was sad, but it was really sweet. It's sad because this young girl very well may get life. Or, you know, maybe she'll get, well, even if she gets like, what can you even get? 50 years to life and then maybe have a chance for parole? She definitely needs a chance for parole. I mean, please don't give her life without parole. She was sitting there taking notes today and looking over at Miss Todd's paperwork, and I just think she needs to be given a chance. I don't want people to think it's not a big deal to take someone's life, but she had honestly like much less your mother's, right? But what if she really did have some kind of psychotic break? And what if all of the abuse she experienced and being upset about the divorce and then smoking all that darn pot? I'm here to say it changes your brain, you guys. Get the book, Your Brain, Your Life. Or let's see, I'm actually going to the AA hall in the morning and I'm giving this book to a lady friend that I just met last weekend who said her daughter is smoking a lot of, not last weekend, I met her a week ago at the AA hall, and she can't convince her daughter that too much pot is a bad thing. And this book, I'm going to give to her. I've read it. It's called Change Your Brain, Change Your Life. The Breakthrough Program for Conquering Anxiety, Depression, Obsessiveness, Anger, and Impulsiveness. It's a New York Times bestseller. You guys can pull it up on your ebooks or whatever, the audio books or whatever they're called. It's by a Daniel G. Amen. A-M, M as in monkey, E-N, and he's an MD. And he's amazing. And it shows pictures on SPECT scans of what alcohol does to the brain. It practically looks like there's holes in the brain. And marijuana does the same thing. And there's pictures of the brain of people that have schizophrenia. There's pictures of people with bipolar. Sarah's manic depression affected brain. They're black and white pictures. This is a paperback. It's a little tattered, but I said maybe if you show her a picture of how it's changing her brain, she won't smoke as much. So, and I was supposed to give it to her last week. I really hope she's there tomorrow and Friday. The place I go only has a noon meeting at, on Mondays and Fridays. So, used to be every day, but the attendance, you know, ever since the C disease out there, it's dwindled. So, I like to go and share my experience, strength, and hope. And I'm getting my 13 coin. I'd like to get it tomorrow, but tomorrow's the 20th, and my AA birthday is the 21st. So I will show you guys actually my 13-year coin. They're pretty heavy. And I think it says on the back of it to thine own self be true. And it's got what are those called? Those numbers, like with the V and the W and the not the W, the V and the lines. What is that called? I can't even think. I've read that amino acids, derivatives of proteins, will eliminate drug cravings. Wow. I would love to see it, you angel. You're so funny. Thank you. You call me angel, Tony calls me beautiful, and Three Dot wants to get stoned in a freezer with me. You guys are hilarious. And then I got all my regular lady friends here. Thank you so much for all being here tonight. So, what was a little bit sad, not sad, but it's sad because her mom is gone, right? She might go away forever. She's sitting in call it solitary confinement. Um, anyway, Miss Todd reached over again today. Yesterday, she had one little hair kind of out of place, and she was just being kind of motherly at the end of the day. And this time, she did it again, but like I said, she put her hair on one side around her ear, and her hair was starting to get a little oily kind of deal, and she didn't care, and she was kind of stroking her hair down like she was combing it with her finger. Yeah. And she smiled. Her mouth wasn't wide, but it was like yesterday's smile was sort of, she was surprised and touched. Today she was like extra touched and kind of sad. And like I said, she walked out of the court crying. Now, also, her stepdad and his mom were there on her side of the courtroom. She was feet from them. Feet from them. I would dare say 4 to 5 feet from them. And then the grandparents. You're so funny. Well, I can't stay on past an hour, and I've been on an hour and 25 minutes. You know why? I get 20 hours free per month. I had to set up another whole StreamYard, and people aren't going to understand it, but that last month, I couldn't pay. They tried to keep taking 25 out because that's how much it used to be for the very next plan up, and I didn't have it. And after about 3 weeks, they just sent me an email and said we had to shut down your StreamYard. So when I decided to come back, which I really wasn't going to do because having a break and a long one was nice and less taxing on my brain, to say the least. No more cyberbullying, no more planning, no trying to impress anyone, no getting things done by a certain time, no staying up till 3 in the morning or feeling tempted to watch back my live till 5 in the morning because I missed so much in chat kind of thing. I wasn't going to come back, but when this case came on court TV, and not everybody under the sun is talking about it, right? I mean, they are, but they're not, at least not necessarily in the true crime community of YouTube. I really wanted to talk about it. Well, I don't know. Because you've been up on panel a couple of times, I actually know what you look like. But, if your hair grows out or your hat is on backwards or you had like, you didn't maybe fancy clothes on or a suit, I probably wouldn't. You're right. It is weird. But I know I don't need to impress you guys. Okay, there's a gaffle where you restart StreamYard over and over for. Okay, well, I need to know where that is because that's what I wanted to do. Before I looked into it and it said if you go down to the basic plan, we are doing this, this, and this, and I can't remember what it was. And they said we're removing 16 videos. 16! 16! And I wasn't willing to do that. I think I have maybe getting close to 200 now. And I want all my videos up there. So, um, you know, I put my videos back up. Now, not the ones where I'm dancing all over the place in different little summer dresses. I could have possibly lost my channel. Not those. But of course, the Let's Go one, with the little green outfit and whatnot, when I was a little more happier. I was a little happier back then because, my sister didn't have cancer or didn't know herself. My mom hadn't had a stroke and a heart attack. And I felt like back then anyway, like I wanted to stay in touch. Not stay in touch, but like visually with my eyes, with the whole Dolly Vision show. And then whenever the what's it called again? The Not turtle game. Now I can't even think what it's called, you guys. Not the turtle game, but whatever it's called. I've totally forgotten the name of this show. Oh, Turtle Eye. Started. It makes me sad because I can't call in. I can't even go in chat. I have people tell me to just put a different name in, pretend I'm someone else, and that's not me. I'm not even going to pretend just to be in someone's chat and to feel a part of something. I'm not going to do it. To me, these sock accounts are fake. They can be dangerous. People can pretend they're anybody and say anything they want. I just think it's wrong. I think everyone should be allowed at the very most maybe 3 accounts and that's it, or maybe 2, or maybe 1. But so yeah, I went through a lot from April to June, and I handled it, some people say, with quite a bit of class. There were times when I lashed out. I even screamed. I stuck up for myself. I made videos sticking up for myself. But when things are that hurtful with your ex and people saying you don't even have a bond or you must not with your own mother and you're dying to see her and you can't just hop on a plane and do it. I mean, I went all the way down south because I had already changed the ticket. And the company that I called, okay, maybe Seattle, maybe SeaTac, if I had gotten the ticket from them, maybe they would have said, sure, you can change it again. change the date, the time, the destinations, all of that, right? Well, I asked just in case, you know, the birthday party that was supposed to happen, right, for everybody to be able to meet Jimmy, in case that didn't happen. And the guy told me, he kind of sounded a little Indian or whatever. He said, no, no, you can't change again or whatever. And, I was just like, okay. Because for one, I didn't think I'd need to. But then that got canceled, right? So the first one got canceled due to all the death threats and whatnot, going to Summerwell's memorial thing, or not memorial, what am I trying to say? Whatever that was called. And then his birthday. So I'm talking about this in case people are wondering or thinking it's ridiculous for me to, because, I'm being accused of not taking that ticket, or cashing it in or whatever people do and getting money and seeing my mom. Well, A, I couldn't do it. And B, her husband was really going through some cancer stuff then. And C, the C disease was out there. And I'm not going to get on a plane and fly somewhere and risk my life and then possibly bring something over there. I mean, we've never gotten it, you guys. Not my daughter, not my son, and not me. And we're going on what, the 5th year now of it being out there? We've never gotten it. I have friends that have had it twice. Okay, so I must be doing something right. We isolated when we were supposed to. We still wear masks in people's cars and stuff, unless the window's down. Then we take it off because there's some air. But I'm here to say, you watch. There's going to be more people getting sick in the wintertime because everything's going to be closed up. All the doors, windows, it'll be cold outside. Here in this state, raining every day. For like the month of October and November, it just rains like every day. Anyway, I got off on a tangent on that. Let me peek at my notes. Oh, hi, Rachel, not that Rachel. Hi there. Okay, what else is going on here? Hit that like, hit that like. What are you talking about, Andrew? I got like 20 robocalls. Every day I got another phone with another number. I just spent 800 to get none. Yeah, I just shouted that out. Wow. I saw something that, yeah, you can get, is it? It's a certain kind of phone where you can't get robocalls, I guess. Yeah. Oh, yes. Island. Do you know what's so funny is my old phone so cranky, so old, it's like me, boo boo, boo boo. Yeah, it just doesn't really work that well. It's so effing complicated. You're not blocked from calling though. No, I'm told not to. And I was never kicked off the show after months, right? All of November and December, and then the new year coming, and then February coming, and Valentine's Day going by, and all of that. Or no, it was the middle of January. It was the middle of January because I was hopeful I could at least be back in chat. Probably not go up on panel. I understood all that. But it didn't work out. There's too much uh you know too many problems. So I just said, I'll just watch from afar. And so it's not that I have to be in his programs to feel a part of, but Turtle Island, I don't even enjoy watching it, honestly. I don't. And it's not because I'm not on there either. It's that I can't call in. I can't do anything, you know? I mean, maybe I could. Maybe now I don't think he would care. I'll just say it's other people. Because when I called in one time and was on the phone for all of like 20 or 25 seconds talking about Koberger, I got flack for that. Not from Jimmy, but I got flack. I heard it, I read it in comments and this and that and the other thing. I wouldn't be surprised. Watch this. Listen to this. I'm going to end my live saying this. So all these videos these past months, no turtles, nobody has come over and given me any kind of flack that even matters or really at all. Now, just because I got a little emotional and I'm bringing it up, right? There'll be at least one person in my comments that's going to say something. Oh, why don't you grow up? What are you boo-hooing over that still? Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? And if that's the case, you guys don't jump in there and defend me and go, well, because then that just gives them what they want. Okay? I'll read it. I'll probably just delete it. But let's just not fuel the fire for these people because they are still out there. Months can go by. And when my name gets brought up over there or anything, I'm not saying it is anymore, but way last year, honestly, it's just havoc. You know, it's just so anyway. Yeah, I totally, yeah. Oh, what? Don't even tell me she's talking like that now with you about your mom? Oh, good grief. Riffing? What is that? I honestly think you riffing is more fun than a design stream. Riffing? I don't even know. I don't think it's okay because of the Koberger thing. So why would I be able to call in, right? It's my voice. It's anybody knowing that I'm even like calling the show. It it's I mean, I don't know. I don't really know, but I'm not going to do it. I'm not ever going to do it. You know? Oh my gosh. Okay, so Rich is in here? I'm way behind. AK, you are Rich the beer guzzler? Sup, bro? Is he in here? AK Britson beer. No, I drink vodka. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I liked it better when it was more just his show. It's just, it had a different groove and vibe to it. You know what I mean? Well, that's good. That's good, AK 47. Oh my God. Did the nasty. I don't even know what that is. You're silly. Oh, who do you think doesn't like you, AK 47? Is that between you and Three Dot? Well, it's not even just that, or it's not even mostly that. It's that people don't understand. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You know, Richie was in here, I think it was my very first night. So it's been about a week. maybe 8 days I've been doing that. Look at this. It's been an hour and 41 minutes. I'm going to run out of StreamYard time, and there's going to be a couple of days in a row you guys won't be able to see me. Look at this. Eyeballs. That's what the shit show does, Three Dot. He comes in with these eyeballs. You guys are hilarious. Oh my God. All right, I'm going to go. It's been an hour and 41 minutes. And like I said, day 4 trial, Carly Gregg versus Mississippi. And I put the dreaded jury deliberation after today. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to burst into tears when the jury comes back. I just am, you guys, whether it's I have this sick feeling that they're not going to give her a break. Maybe if it was just her mom, right? I mean, I hate to say it like this. This is the feeling I have, but the fact that I'm going to say it, she kind of lied in wait for her stepdad to come back too. That could have been 2 people. They might not think she's, what is the word? Rehabilitation able, wise, whatever. Could not be rehabilitated. And I just think she could. She's got a lot of patience. She's very bright. And I do think she could be an asset to society. Maybe she's got to do a good 10 years in prison. I don't know. I, I I'm not sure we're gonna see her doing even 30 and getting parole. Um, and then I'll say this. Yesterday she said she wanted to hear more testimony to decide if she would share or not share, take the stand. Um, I they must have had it just on paper because she never stood up again and said yes or no or whatever to him. I didn't see that anywhere, and I watched the entire thing today on 2 times speed and slower on other parts. Yes, rehabilitate. What did I say? Me and my words now. Oh, you're silly. Okay, so and why Undercover Mermaid? Why her? I don't even know who she is. Does she have a channel? I don't understand. Oh, the renewing her StreamYard. Okay. I actually messaged her and said she should do a live telling how she renewed her StreamYard. Yeah, I mean, yeah, Ambery. Hopefully she's getting the right medication. Something her daughter figured out. This one that Three Dots said, making another account. I mean, okay, well, now I really better go. So it was sad, she has to hit the button, and turn off the computer during breaks. She pushes her chair in. She steps out, puts her hands in front of her like they're handcuffed, but they're not, and just walks out the door. And day after day, quite a few times, that's what she's done. And Miss Todd is absolutely fighting for her life. I wouldn't be surprised if Miss Todd doesn't have her own children. I think I'm going to Google her and read up on her because I've really grown to like her. I just don't think if she goes to prison, I mean, she's going to get rehabilitated. And if she gets life, she'll never get out. I mean, she didn't be asked to be, born into that family and have these mental maladies. just like my son. He was totally fine, you guys. He was. He's a young teenager, really good looking, skateboarded, had lots of energy. And then when all this stuff hit him, the harder stuff at 21, just everything's there. Fear, doubt, suspicion, depression, major anxiety, severe OCD, all these things. So yeah, all right, you guys, on the same account over and over, mermaid, though they can't keep her in solitary. Yeah, no, I doubt they'll. Well, I wonder what they'll do. Will they keep her? That's the thing. Until she turns 18? I mean, that's like someone said, solitary confinement's like torture. Yeah. All right, you guys. Good night. Thank you for being here. It was fun. Thank you for every single one of you. Please hit the like. Please subscribe to me if you're in the bushes and you just want to help me out. I so want to get up to 2,460. It keeps saying 2,455 day after day. And I deserve at least 5 subs for all that I've done this week. I feel like I do. I've written lots of pages and I have tremors. My hand is sore. Please sub up to me. All right, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Say a prayer for that whole family, especially Carly. Her stepdad doesn't want her to get life. He just wants her to get help. Her grandparents. So her own family is rooting for her. For real. All right. Watch the end of the court case where she touches her hair and she walks out crying. Watch it. It's really touching today. Love you guys. This is PCT is Extreme. I just can't play the carrot song when we're going through all these emotional trials. Not right now. Not with this case. Love you.